Welcome to a new episode of TTG Conversations 5 Questions video series. I'm Karen Yu, Group Editor of TTG Asia Media. In this episode, we'll look at sustainability attitudes in the space of business events. And taking us through this topic is Ong Wee Min, Vice President of Sales and MICE with Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. Welcome to the show, Wee Min.
Hi, Karen. Nice to be back on the show.
I've got 5 questions for you, and here's the first. What are the current attitudes among your clients towards sustainable events, be they public or for business only, and how different are attitudes today compared to years ago?
Well, in the Science Expo and Convention Center, we're the proud home of more than 2,400 events a year. Most of them iconic shows in their respective industry verticals. If you look at sustainability as a topic or as a point of interest now, there's a lot stronger interest, not just from the clients, but also from the delegates on whether events are sustainable. What you do, do you really do what you preach? Do you really do what you say? And they start ask intelligent questions as not just on the accreditation that you hold, but also processes that you have to drive the particular business. Interestingly, we also have clients who have their own checklist now on sustainable practices. Read and Informer comes immediately to mind. And it's a very, very, at MCI, of course, and they are very, very stringent checklists on how do you do certain things, do you have certain accreditations, how do you drive a business, how do you deliver sustainable food and beverage, and in the geographical region and space that you operate in. And these checklists form a very, very strong base for venues to work on, because these are what the marketplace so desires.
So what led to such shifts in attitudes and acceptance of responsible and sustainable events?
It's interesting because when we first started on our sustainability journey in 2011, and industry was all about accreditation. We are very lucky to be a front runner in this space. So we are very proud to be a triple platinum certified venue from the Events Industry Council, from the US Green Building Council for LEED certification, and of course from Singapore's very own BCA, Building and Construction Authority. And the accreditation is important because it serves as a point of validation and a seal of approval that the particular venue has achieved certain level of competency in the operations in order to be certified. And the period to 2011 to maybe about now even, clients start the first question by asking, what type of industry certification for sustainability do you have? But over time, the whole marketplace has evolved. Most important, I think the impact of climate change is a growing point of concern. Within the events industry, delegates are growing increasingly aware and conscious of the environmental impact of the things that we do as a whole, as an industry. And they start asking further questions beyond accreditation, the processes. What are your business processes? Because a certification for accreditation for sustainability only certifies the building they are in, for example. What are the processes? So ISO 20121 come to mind. That was a lot of venues now go for that. ISO 45001 for workplace safety and health also come to mind. These processes also help you ensure that the venue that you go to and the events that you go to meet a certain stringent standard in terms of the way we operate as a whole. And interestingly, in the immediate months and probably year now, past the pandemic, in the post-pandemic years, clients and delegates, the whole community started asking further questions on impact. So beyond accreditation, beyond processes, impact. How can we collectively, as an industry, do more to drive positive outcomes for the community through the things that we do? Because as an industry, we are a platform where thought leaders of different industry verticals gather, and that's where the particular industry, the particular vertical, progress the whole industry and whole community as a whole, collectively. So now delegates and the community ask, what can we do besides progressing the community? What can we do as an industry to help the entire community at large? If you drink coffee, for example, or you have a fish dish on your menu, what are you doing for that particular community that provides you with the supply. What have you done for the community, and how can we do it better as a whole? So increasingly, the increase of focus in sustainability issues, in CSR issues, in ESG issues have led to the growth in awareness from not just the clients, but most importantly, the delegates as well.
Yeah, so you spoke nicely about the delegates' impact. So, but how intensely are they exerting pressure on event organizers to be sustainable? What sort of expectations do event attendees have about sustainable events?
Let me quote you an example. We are now hosting one of Asia's largest homeland security show, Milipo. I was in the foyer and I was standing right in front of the exhibition hall, and one delegate, came to me, Asian, and says, "Are you from the venue? Can you tell me about your sustainability measures?" I was like, "Okay, that's simple." And typically, I had a dress rehearsal for this session. So I told them literally rattled the process between and the evolution between accreditation, between processes and community impact. And he says, okay. And I asked, so what do you do? Are you your companies? Are you visiting the show? I said, yes, I'm visiting the show. And I said, are you the company's rep for sustainability as well? He says, no, I just want to know. And I just want to know if I go to an exhibition like Milipo, for example, what are they doing? Not just that is sustainable, but what they do as a whole, as a community, to further the interest and the topic of sustainability. Because, and he said it very well, collectively, we all have a duty.
Well, who do you think has a greater responsibility to ensure events are sustainable? Is it the event organizer? Is it the owner? Or the venue provider, and why?
Let me answer the question by saying, when we first started on our sustainability drive in 2011, we went alone. And because when you go alone, you go really fast. We went after every single accreditation, we make sure operations are done, And later on, we realized that, if we really want to go far as an industry, we need to go in together as one. Because when you go as a team, you go really far. And hopefully that answered the question, because collectively, it is a tripartite relationship between the delegates, which is important because they are the supply of the demand that impacts the choice of the companies that they do business with, the clients, the meeting planners, the exhibition organizers, the incentive planners, for example, who in turn impact the selection of venues, destinations, not just hotels and convention centers, but also the general destination as a whole. So long answer to that, and short answer to my very long answer is that collectively, everyone plays a part, because no one part is more important in this whole sustainability movement, sustainability journey. Because, and I quote the delegate that I met, outside Milipo just now, because collectively we all have a role to play, we all play a part.
Great. Now, I remember MBS is one of the very first pioneers in driving responsible events and hospitality in Singapore. And I remember, when I was, one of the junior reporters, reading and writing about your property's sustainable food sourcing practices, as well as emissions calculators, offset options for events held on site. Back then, not many venue operators do that. But these days, most venues offer such forms of sustainable event support. So how does MBS make sure forward-thinking clients continue to prioritize your property for their sustainable events?
When we first, again, going back to our journey, our very own journey, 2011, we went after certification. 2013, we packaged everything, into I do remember, impact meeting package. The whole idea is, because sustainability then was not so hot a topic for our clients and the communities that they represent. We hope that by grouping them into packages, we have talking points and areas that we could inspire greater action collectively. We just scrapped the whole concept of an impact meeting package this year. Why? Because if we are truly to progress in terms of sustainability as a whole industry, sustainability as a topic cannot be a USB. It has to be the baseline. Yeah. And if it's a baseline, why even bother putting it into one singular package? It cannot be used as a sales tool for the sales group to say, we are more sustainable, therefore come to us. It has to be the baseline to everything we do, from the way we source, the way we treat our community suppliers, for example, our suppliers community, the way we work collectively, to find solutions together with our clients And the supply chain, for example, is a tripartite relationship. It's not just us delegates and the clients, it's also supply chains that collectively we bring together. It is the ability for us to work together as a whole. So we don't think that sustainability should ever be used as a USP, because collectively, I think the industry has moved a lot forward in this whole topic. We have to recognize that it has to be the baseline to all that we do, from the food that we source. If you serve seafood, it has to be sustainable seafood. If should there be a plastic bottle, in front of the rostrum? It shouldn't, because it says the wrong signal, especially when the camera pans across. You can tell 1,000 stories about why the bottle was there, but immediately the optics is formed, and collectively everyone loses. So beyond sustainability as a pillar for every event, we also want to make sure we empower people. We collectively we have about 11,000 team members here in Marina Bay Sands, and in the convention center that I represent, we have more than 400 team members, and we start asking ourselves, what if every single team member start pushing the envelope, one by one, doing whatever we can, small actions collectively to further it, to realize that we are putting more than 100 team members within the Sands Expo and Convention Center through EIC's SEPC accreditation, Sustainable Event Professional Certification. The whole idea is to arm all these team members with the confidence, the knowledge, and the know-how to engage not just our clients, but also their community, their families, their loved ones, their friends, in the things that truly matter. And in doing that, we believe that this voice for sustainability will get a lot stronger as one, not just as a company, not just an industry, but the people that make up the industry. Because after all, we are industry of people, for people, by people.
Yeah, good points, Wee Min. And now that your staff undergo that training, anyone who stops them in front of the hall and asks them the same question as the person asked you, they will be able to answer the question correctly too.
Definitely. And they have to really mean what they say, and they have to be really proud of what they do. If you are a chef, for example, and you haven't gone through SCPC course to give you that knowledge and confidence, and when you're in front of a delegate or in front of the client, you must be proud about talking about the vertical, the herb gardens that we have, the responsible sourcing that we do, even how we empower fishing communities by driving technology in partnership with stakeholders like WWF, for example. You have to really feel the passion through the fingertips, because only through that will you truly touch people's hearts and drive home the message that you believe in.
Wonderful. And that's all the questions I have for you, Wee Min. Thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much. Take care.
Past and future episodes of TTG Conversations 5 Questions can be found on the TTG YouTube channel. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.